Welcome to Orange Worlds. In this quick tutorial, we'll show you how to start a new project and easily import 3D models to bring your virtual world to life. Let's dive in. Quick start guide on how to start a new project and how to import models. So the first thing you're going to do once you're signed in to world.orangeweb3.com is go to Create Room. The first page you'll be brought to are the projects, and I am going to start a new project. Once the scene loads, you'll see you'll have this default terrain model. Anything within the hierarchy, within this dialog, you can turn on and off. You'll see that each of these models have properties that you can play around with. So I can scale it, make it smaller or larger, or I can get rid of it completely. Now, if you are ambitious, there is an architecture kit here, and you'll be able to build almost anything with it. So for example, I'll just bring in a window and then a wall, and then I'll be able to manipulate these things. There are two ways to manipulate it. Either using the directionals, or you can do it within the properties, and you're just dragging these values. Also, you'll see there is a grid, and right now it's on snap mode. So as I move it with these directionals, it will move according to the grid. I can change the grid size so that it moves in smaller increments. I can turn off snap to grid and just move these freely. One of the properties that is pretty important is rotation, so you'll be able to manipulate your objects, or you can do it with the rotation tool. So let's just set this to 90 degrees. Easier if I do it within properties, set it to 90, change back to the moving tool, and now I can start to create a scene. But if you're like me and have no real experience building these things, there is another way. The scene editor is hooked up to Sketchfab, which hosts a ton of free models. So what I'm going to do here is search for a gallery, find one I like, and then just click it and drop it into the scene. Now some models will appear very small, so you're just going to have to scale it. So I'm going to scale this to 1, and then this is my model. If I turn off the terrain, you'll see this model. Or I can keep the terrain and adjust this as I need to. So I'm going to scale this down a bit. Let's pick the right model. Now there is another way to bring in models. You can go to the Sketchfab site itself, which has much better filtering. So I'll just pick all the free licenses and search for low-quality gallery. We can take this one, for example. You can preview that in Sketchfab, and I'm just going to copy the URL. And you can see here on this model there is a URL. And I'm just going to paste the URL I just copied in here. And over here, this is the new model. There you go. Now, the third way to bring in a model, I'll just delete this. The third way you can upload one yourself. It needs to be in GLB format. And I have a model here that I used to build the Orange Club. I'll go to my assets. I can either upload that here, or I can simply drag and drop it in. Now this model is a bit heavier than the other ones that we just previewed, so it takes a little bit of time to upload. Now you can see it is in My Assets. I'm just going to click this, and then drop it. Here we have our scene. I'm going to bring it up a little, just so it's even with the floor. Now I've just placed a club in the middle of this crater. Next we will go into lighting.